to the Come Together Hub podcast. My name's Georgia. This is Matty, Ryan and Kev. We're going to just do a little chat and talk about different things that we do outside of recovery to sort of complement living a clean life and giving back to society and just some different kinds of stuff. Yeah. Do you want to kick us off, Matty?
Yeah, it's funny because when you say like things that complement the recovery, like I think most things that I do in a way that gets me better, if that makes sense. Like everything that I do, like even like my work, you know, like going to the gym, like spending time with like my family, you know, like especially like my grandkids, you know, like just all like betters me. Do you know what I mean? And when you talk about recovery, I'm guessing we're talking about like the program, you know, and this is where it gets like murky now, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Because what works for me might not work for someone else. You know what I mean? When I think about recovery, I think about a 12-step program that helps me to like watch how I'm being and what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? And this is one thing I know is like addiction had way too much of my time. Do you know what I mean? And now I'm making up for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I do loads of things. Yeah.
Each person sort of finds what fills them up with joy. Do you know what I mean? And they say like recovery is a bridge to normal living. So it's like finding like your hobbies, you know, your interests, and like things that you enjoy doing as an individual. You know, I think a lot of people in recovery enjoy being out in nature, you know, going for walks or hikes or camping, or you like your fishing.
Yeah. No, addiction certainly robbed that off me. Like I was 14, 15, started out fishing, and it became more about taking drugs and drinking. I remember, do you know the black boxes that collects your cans after recycling? And just like reflecting on some of the things we used to do, is just like pile it full of beer and just take that. And I think it was more just about going to drink and do stuff, and slowly but surely it become more about that, and then fishing just went out the back window. And you know, coming back into recovery, like my passion come back for it, you know, and like sort of like travelling all over the world whilst being in recovery. It's like that sort of aligned with my fishing now, you know. Come July I'm going fishing on the River Ebro, and then April next year I'm going fishing in Thailand, and these are some of the goals and like ambitions and stuff.
Fishing in Thailand, what?
But it's you know, I can like when we talk about like being out and camping and stuff like we have done, you know, the unity of everyone. I can certainly be on my own fishing, but feel more connected than ever. Like being around and out in nature, it's like it's just amazing for me. Yeah.
Kev, have you got any like hobbies or anything like that? Anything that you?
My bike and my cat.
Yeah, exercise, isn't it? Exercise is a good one. Biking out in nature.
I love it.
Yeah.
As long as I keep away from Blue Bridge, I'm okay.
Why? What's up with the Blue Bridge?
Bad things happen at the Blue Bridge.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think like touching on the travelling as well, you know, I was, when I was in addiction, I was so scared of flying. I used to just take as many drugs as I could. Do you know what I mean? And I'd still be crying my eyes out flying. And then like obviously since I've been in recovery, I've been away like numerous times, and I've been absolutely fine, and I've just felt like great. Do you know what I mean? And connected, and going away with the fellowship as well. You know, that was something, like an experience I'll never forget. That, you know, just so many like-minded people all wanting the same, you know, and enjoying themselves, you know, because like coming into recovery, fear what you're in, and like you're too scared to do anything other than go to a meeting or you know, you sort of stick in in your little bubble. So once you like break out of that bubble of like early recovery and start to like broaden your horizons and start to try different
settle,
things.
don't you? I think it's like over time you kind of like settle into the things that you're doing, whether that's in the fellowship or what. But because it's funny when you say about like going away with the fellowship, like, so I remember like years ago my first time going away and just being like absolutely like it blew my mind. Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't get over it, like, and when I got back I was like trying to tell people who wasn't in the fellowship, like, and it was really difficult to explain like my experiences, you know what I mean? But I've just had a similar kind of experience recently where we went to Spain for a week, but the purpose of the trip was to go watching Saints in France, playing Catalan, and it was the closest thing I'd experienced to travelling with a fellowship. But it was that thing, it's like-minded people, so I was like, look, like hundreds and hundreds of Saints fans, you know what I mean? But obviously, like, I'm in recovery, and 99% of them, I'm sure there might have been one or two that didn't drink, but like there was all like drinkers, like my family included, and my partner, like, you know what I mean? Not that they're all pissheads, you know what I mean? But they have a drink, just normal bods that have a drink, you know what I mean? But I think like if I'd have done that a few years ago, I think I'd have been really uncomfortable with it, you know what I mean? But because I've had a bit of time in, and I know a little bit about me and like what's good for me and what's not, you know what I mean? It was like a really good experience.
You put things in place, don't you? You know what sets you off, you know what not to do. My first meeting, it was a CA meeting in Croxton 20 odd years ago now. I've been dipping my toe in and out for 20 odd years, but as long as I keep doing that, you know, I'm trying, as long as I keep trying. But I put things in place, little things, like I got carer's allowance, and you know, I decided to get that money paid into my dad's bank account, and he gives me money
just to protect
every other day.
Yeah.
Little things like that.
But I'll tell you what the difference. I'll tell you what the difference was for me, and this was a massive difference. So it was a shift of like thinking, and it went from like I can't use to I don't want to use. And as soon as it went to I don't want to use, like everything become a little bit easier and a little bit better, you know what I mean? So like when we was away, I didn't once think like I want to drink but I can't, you know what I mean? Because that attitude failed for me for years. You know, like I didn't want to. My life is always better being in recovery. You know, and I only got to look back at my experiences whilst I was using, because that's where my future's written. My future's written in the past if I don't do something different. And even this right now, this is that something different. You know what I mean? And I put value to my life on finding things that I like doing. So all the things that we talk about, the things that we like doing, if I don't do things that I like doing, chances are I'm not going to do them for very long, or I'm not going to do them in the realms of reality. Do you know what I mean? I'll do it while using. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and an addiction like controlled everything about my life, who I spent time with, what I was doing, where I was going, blah blah blah.
We was on about this the other day. I said I found it really, really difficult early in recovery, behaving and doing the things that I did while in addiction clean.
Yeah.
I couldn't cope
Conflict.
with my life, because it was like I was clean now, but I was still around these people and I was still going to these places and I was still acting a certain way, and I was just in so much turmoil and pain. I just relapsed and relapsed and until I made them complete changes of I can't be around them people and I can't go to them places and I can't behave in that way. That was the only time that I found any peace in being clean.
I'll send you a real quick story, right? So the difficult thing with that is when you've got like family members who use, right? Like friends or people you're associated with, it's easier to break away from that stuff, right? So I had a conversation with my sister the other day, like, I hope she don't mind me saying this on fucking YouTube. Like, she's in recovery now, and like, I said to her the other day, I said I was fucking gutted when I found out, when the realisation landed that she was an addict. Do you know what I mean? Because she was the one that we always relied on. Now, like, and I said to her, so her daughter, Lisa, like, fucking, she's my niece, right? But she's always been like, my sister and Lisa, Jen and Lisa have always been like maternal figures in my life, even though my niece is younger than me. It's bizarre, like, fucking fucked up, like, family dynamics, you know what I mean? And I was like, I've only got Lisa to rely on now, you know, as the adult, you know what I mean? And as I said it, I thought, I'm an adult and I'm quite sane now, you know what I mean? I'm in recovery and I don't need to, like, rely on people, you know what I mean? And Lisa's never done anything, do you know what I mean? And I thought, like, it's mad, isn't it, how like, the point what I was trying to say is, because, like, family members, you can't just, like, break away from that, but you can't just, like, enforce recovery on them, you know what I mean? You've just got to be, like, an example. So our Carl was, like, an example to me, you know what I mean? Although at early doors he did try and, like, intervene in his own way, you know what I mean? And probably got it wrong, you know, but, like, eventually his example of how he was living become, like, really attractive for me, do you know what I mean? And I was like, when I did a place of desperation, it's like, maybe I could do some of the things he's doing.
Yeah, definitely.
My relationship with my family's never been better. Of all these years of chaos and turmoil, and you know, you know what I'm saying. I've got clean just at the right time.
Yeah.
When they need me.
Yeah. Right, brilliant. So we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like the videos, share the videos, and keep watching. Thanks for it.
Thanks.